Guys, you won't believe this rerun, but let me tell you what's going on here. I want to talk to you guys about saving some big time money. And you might think this is a little crazy, but it will change your life once you get started doing this. Well, I kind of feel like I live like my grandparents do. And I used to not be like this. I used to spend my whole paycheck every week buying clothes and fun stuff. And that's okay. But when you get retired and you get older, and it's not even because you're poor or need money, it's because it's actually a form of investing so that you can buy things you want. And so I can buy whatever I want because I do things so that I can have the money when I want it. So this is what brought me to this. I just put in the freezer. I got laughing. I'm not sure where it is. Might be this one. Yep, I got to fix the tape on it. Chicken fat. Now you might say, well, that's kind of silly to save something that silly. But here's what happens. You know, you go out and you buy these little bouillon cubes and things like that to put in your soups, and you can do that. But like, I just made a bunch of, not fried, but just baked chicken. And there was like juice in the bottom of it. And I said, I found from experience that sometimes if you're cooking a soup or something like that, you know how grandma always just had it right? Well, you use a little fat from the meat. It makes it taste better. And little things like that. Now, I made stuffed shells. My husband loved them. I'm lazy. I don't want to be cooking 24 hours a day. I just put I always make more than we can eat, and I put the excess in the freezer, and I can just take it out and put it in a baking dish and bake. Don't you go to the store and buy baked lasagna in the freezer section sometimes? I mean, this is how you save the extra money. Chicken soup. We made a ton of it. So we have chicken soup in here. Now, it's not like I'm eating leftovers or reruns, as I call them, all the time. But sometimes I want to have a good dinner, and rather than eating a sandwich or something like that, I can eat my own TV dinners. I can be my own chef by using all the secrets that the chefs know to do. I mean, my husband went to culinary school, so, he taught me a lot, because when we first got married, I was the girl that went out to eat every meal and would send meals home to my son for supper and stuff like that, because I was out working all the time. And, there's things like, now your grocery store might not have this, but ours does. And you can always make a phone call to the manager and ask. But like, we bought drumsticks in bulk. It was like, I don't know, it was so cheap. It was under maybe $25 or something for like a ton of them. We couldn't have grown it that much. I don't know the price. I'd have to have Clay tell you that. But like, I'll load my freezer up if you have a freezer. If you don't have a freezer, just use what you got till you get to there. I still have juice that I got from the grapes that we grew to make jelly with. Now, might be cheaper to buy the jelly. I don't know. I haven't done the math. I haven't asked Clay yet, but I have that in there. But I have all kinds of things. Do you know you can freeze dairy? I do it all the time because we go once a month to the grocery store. And I go once a month because I felt like God gave me the idea, and I did the math, and I figured that I'm saving, like, let's see, we used to spend $150 a week to go grocery shopping. Now we spend, it's like $250 to $300 once a month. I have half my groceries or more just going once a month, because we get what we need. It's like the couponers, only I don't want to, I want to eat the foods we want. I've got peppers that I grew. Now, you don't have to have a garden, but you can. I'm growing some of my food right now from kitchen scraps. That sounds super, super cheap, but I'm doing that for fun because, hey, it's boring in the country this time of the year. So I'm doing a lot of experiments because you don't know, what you're going to get until you try stuff. But anyway, a lot of times there's things that you get. Like if you buy something like celery, it's super easy. Just cut the bottom off and stick it in the thing, and there you go. So I'm always on the move looking. We buy all kinds of stuff. We go to food auctions. I don't know if I can show you in here, but, you're going to see, like, I've got Hostess cupcakes and cookies and all kinds of stuff. I got, like, all this multi-grain bread for, like, 50 cents a loaf. You go to the grocery store, you're paying, like, $4 a loaf. Like I said, you got to kind of get yourself into what's best for your family. Now, it's not that I'm poor. It's that I'm smart. Because I don't feel like paying $4 for a TV dinner when noodles are so cheap and I can make my own TV dinners. My father used to call it the plate. After dinner, any leftovers he'd freeze, and then, of course, as kids, we're like, ooh, because kids don't realize, but when you get older, I am truly my father's daughter. But that's the way you have more money and to do things. It's like I said, it has nothing to do with, not having, but if you don't have, that's how you can get ahead. Food is a big part, and you want your family to eat healthy because, like my daddy used to say, you're either going to spend it in groceries or in doctors, so you might as well eat good. So, here's stuff I bought. Like I bought at food auctions. I mean, you may have them in your area, you may not. But Reese's peanut butter chips. We got tons of these for like 50 cents. But it's not even the food auctions, because you can go to food auctions, you can grow stuff. But there's so many ways to save. I mean, if I have a sister and a mother that's like, I don't like this because they're more of, and I'm not saying it's bad, it's just a different way of life. They live in the city, like, so to speak. Out here, it's the suburbs, and they don't want to eat stuff. And so it's like, I'll take it, and they know that, they know how I am, and I give to them, they give to me. It's like that kind of thing. But they all know it's that they just aren't going to eat it and they're going to toss it. So it's like, I'll try it, and as long as it's not bad. Another thing to learn is, now this is a skill that you're going to have to learn, is when food really goes bad. Now, obviously, you don't want to eat old, yucky food, but if you start to learn when your food is really bad, then you won't be tossing out things. And a lot of times you can find things there's nothing wrong with them. If you garden, you're going to see stuff right there. But I learned a lot because when I moved near Clay, there is no work up here without driving far. So I never in my life worked in a factory before. I didn't know anything about factory work. And I worked in an apple factory. And it was really interesting because they kept those apples for like a year before it even went out to the public sometimes. And it's just they stay in cold storage. And not all the apples, but some of them did because, they go the whole season and towards the end. So I hope this is helpful to you. And like I said, it's not about being cheap. It's about being smart. And if all you have is a freezer, and maybe that's why I'm talking about the freezer today, because I can and I do all that other stuff, but start where you're at. Start when you cook something. If you get a little extra junk, put it in a baggie, stick it in the freezer, and you don't have to necessarily shout and make a big deal about it to your family because your kids might, be uptight about it. But next time, see if it doesn't work. If it doesn't make your, dinner taste a little bit better, or if you make soup or something, stick the excess in the freezer. And let's not just stop there. You know what else it does? It saves me a lot of time. While other women are slaving over the stove or eating prepared meals every meal, I'm doing things I want to do, watching movies, running around, having fun. I'm not always working. I mean, a lot of times I do videos. It might look like I'm always working, but I get up in the morning, do what I got to do, and then I rest. I take my naps and do my stuff. But look, guys, I just date everything. And, of course, if you have animals, like a lot of times, too, my family will say to me, I don't want this. Do you want to give it to an animal? Sure. Sometimes you can go to your grocery store and ask them for their old vegetables and stuff, and you can give them to your animals. But, and I know that I have some friends that actually live in places where, like, the farms give out free food. I mean, like, educate yourself on how to keep the food. Some of them, what they'll do is they'll have, like, junk that they don't maybe want to bag up or something. And if you have those, find out how to freeze them, can them. I mean, save yourself some money. But anyway, Jesus picked up the fragments in life. I'm taking the little fragments, making myself a nice little bankroll so that when I want to buy, for me, because I've been farming, I want to buy seed and animal food and animals. And like I said, it's not because I'm poor, but if I can save anywhere I can save, then I could say, Clay, can I buy this or that? Not that I have to ask my husband, but he's better with the money, so I usually let him manage it. But I'm not bad with the money, but it's just, let's put it this way, I'm lazy, and he wants to do it, so let him do it, right? But, this will change your life. You might think, oh, that's something I don't want to do, this and this and that. But you might you might think about me 10 years from now, and you might start to do this. So I wanted to put this video out for now or for in the future in your life. that, like I said, if you do this on a consistent basis, you will find more and more ways to save for your family, not just in the cooking area, but all kinds of things. I'm not talking about being crazy and doing stupid stuff. I'm just talking about, I mean, I made chicken. Divided it up in meals so I didn't have to, well, let's start that again. I made chicken. I made enough for a bunch of meals. I divided up the chicken so I don't have to cook for the next few days, because we like to eat cold chicken. So normally I would bag it up and put it back in the freezer with some of the excess cooked food. But this, I said, hey, over the weekend we'll eat cold chicken and the other leftovers or reruns or whatever you want to call it. And then I took I just took the fat, poured it off. That was it. Done. And it was a freezing cold day here, so it helped with the heat. So it's like I said, I cook smart. Cook a bunch of food on a freezing cold day. That way when it's a hot day, I don't have to cook. Take the excess. It's not a big deal. Never a big deal. It's just little steps here and there. You learn to save, and then you can have your house and your home looking beautiful because you saved and did the smart things. Of course, you might think, Ruthie, your house doesn't look beautiful right now, but we're remodeling. So a little chatty, but like I said, watch me, see the things that I do. I hope it helps your family. And I just really felt like I should share this with you guys. I think it's going to help some of you guys out there. And you can save the excess money you save. There's your Christmas money, guys. Okay, like, subscribe. See you in the next video. Sorry I was a little bit like all over the place. I was just so excited about this. I mean, I get excited because I know it's like, this is like my bank. All my little scraps are like my bank. So anyway, like, subscribe, and remember, big or small, you too can be a backyard farm.